You're Sperp back with another video, and I just got done watching episode 2 of Wentworth, the final season, or the final sentence, I should say. And man, things are definitely starting to get going. I will have to say that this episode definitely had a lot of slow moments, but I feel like where it ended really left off pretty strong. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season, but we're going to get into that. I want to start off with Rita and Ruby's father. That whole moment, that was really sad. And like I said, this was a really sad episode for the most part because everybody kind of had to deal with the loss. You know, Rita had to deal with the loss of her father. She was willing to risk it all, even just leaving prison, knowing that she's going to get caught, does not really care because she wants to see her father for the last time. She ends up going back to Wentworth, which I'm going to be curious to see where they go with her character and how she's going to react with the changes, because things are definitely shaking up. The episode starts off, though, with, Lou Kelly pretty much dealing with the whole Reb situation, and she's just completely broken. Mari is also really upset, even though this was all her fault. All of this is because of Mari kind of planting that seed in Sheila's head. But now, because of Mari and her actions, she has unleashed something really dark in Lou that we're gonna see. Now, going to Ferguson, they're really dragging ass with just her character. I'm really wanting to see her character just snap and just go back to the freak. I want to see that. I'm wondering if she's just trying to kind of play it a different way, because she even tries to confront Vera about who possibly killed Reb, and she says it was Sheila. And of course, Vera just completely doesn't believe Ferguson and what she's telling her. And she keeps letting out way too much and not knowing that Ferguson remembers exactly who she is. She doesn't exactly remember the whole her being buried alive situation, but I really think that that's going to come sooner than later. We're just going to wait and see. Now, going over to Boomer and just seeing how bad she is as top dog. She doesn't even care about what's going on in the jail. Even Allie is kind of terrified, and it's just not a good look right now for Boomer, because while she's meeting with this guy, talking about getting some footage and trying to get a baby, and that should be the least of your worries, because while you're sitting around fucking around, literally, not really literally, but you're not paying attention what's going on, you don't realize how important being top dog is. And Lou confronts her about this, like, you're not doing shit. And this really has backfired completely. Allie stepping down was a really big mistake, and putting Boomer in charge, because now things are chaotic, and I think it's going to continue as we go to Judy's character. We really see how evil and just despicable her character is. She's talking to her lawyer, speaking about how she could possibly get out or working out some type of deal, but she's going to use Allie kind of as her fall guy. And I'm wondering when Allie's going to figure out that it was Judy, the one that kind of put her in a situation, because it's really sad watching Allie going through all this, man. And it's just like, I want her to get her revenge sooner than later. Really hope Judy's whole entire plan just falls apart and we just see her die in the most brutal way. I know that sounds harsh, but she deserves it, because now Allie can't walk ever, and she has to deal with this for the rest of her life. She has to deal with the decisions she's made, and it's crazy. So now getting to the better parts of this episode, after Lou kind of is getting done grieving, she starts to just rain havoc throughout the jail on just Allie and just crew. Mari again pokes her head where it doesn't belong, and not knowing that this all has to do with her, Lou kind of puts two and two together and finds out that Mari had something to do with this. But Mari, being Mari, is able to get out of this situation by talking to Lou, but ends up getting almost completely choked out in the process. So what ends up happening is Mari says it's Sheila. Sheila is the one that killed Reb, which leads Lou to confront Sheila about this and pretty much makes her suffer by, I forget exactly what the liquid she made her drink, because she gave her ultimatum. She's like, I either cut your throat or you drink this. And I'm like, yo, I really like that Lou is just on complete demon time and just going in, and ends up just watching her suffer. Mari is able to find out where they are, but yet none of the guards can find out where they're at, which is interesting because at that convenient time, Jackson is looking for Sheila, but it's too late because Mari and Lou are choking out Sheila to pretty much put her out of her misery. Lou was just gonna let her sit there and just be in pain and agony. Mari didn't want her to kind of go through that. She wanted to pretty much end it. But now that kind of makes her an accomplice in this situation with Lou. So she's attached to Sheila being murdered. Now the sirens and everything are going off. The alarms are going off. They're trying to figure out what's going on. They're about to lock everybody down. But Lou is just like, no, I did it. And confronts Boomer about this. Like, you did nothing about this. None of you did nothing about this. And this is where Lou declares herself as top dog. And I'm like, yes, this is going to be interesting. Seeing Lou as top dog. And how is this going to play out? What will Wentworth look like under Lou Kelly's reign? Because now with Allie completely out of commission, nobody is really left to challenge Lou Kelly besides Rita. That's probably the only person I could see really challenging Lou. What are going to be the consequences of Mari's actions throughout the rest of the season? Let me know how you guys feel about this episode in the comments below. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.